Welcome. In this video, I'm going to tap into and talk about Shakti power and divine feminine energy. I'm going to do a little reading about it. Typically, I would channel more in the Akashic records, but my spirit guides and my guardians moved me into power animal totems, so I'm actually working with animals right now, and animal spirits that are related to my guardian teams. So I'm going to jump into that. Hello, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Stormie Calder. I am an energy worker, an energy healer, a reader, a guide, a shaman, a psychic medium. Although I don't typically associate to the mediumship part, but I do it very well. But it's more that I read energy for a living, and I read between the veil, and I work with elementals, and I read with the elements. I read spirit. I understand spirit. I'm a walking spirit guide on the planet. I have been tested immensely to become that. I speak the language of spirit, and I speak the language of human, and I do my absolute best to translate along the way. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, enlightenment practices, ascension, spiritual ascension, and metaphysics, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications, stick around, leave me a comment, let me know what resonates, and we will jump right in. If you are interested in divine feminine ascension, I have a program called the Source Code Framework, which is a monthly membership. It's a 9-month ongoing program where I teach women how to embrace their power in all of the ways that my spirit guides and guardians and elementals lead me to. So it's developing your intuition in the soft and the sweet and the knowing ways. It's understanding how to read the veil. It's understanding how to read spirit, how to interpret spirit in all of the ways that spirit approaches us. It's understanding how to read the Akasha, not the records, but the actual flow of source current that moves through the universe, which is the creative energy that feeds us all. Tapping into the soul food, the soul voltage, what actually gives your body the battery voltage from your soul, and being able to store it and hold it in your body in a feminine way. That's what I call soul food. It is actually like a spiritual current or currency that is delivered through the light codes and through all of the videos that I post in that membership portal. So anyway, if you want to join or at least learn more, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. It's called the Source Code. It's a monthly membership. When there is a month-to-month option, and then there's also a 9-month option. When you sign up for 9 months, my guardians, specifically Storm, which is who I am named after, takes care of your actual ascension work in practice and like keeps you on target for the entire 9-month journey. It is an energy work journey, and it is very gentle through the 9-month period. That's the point of having a 9-month journey as opposed to like a 1-month situation. And she requested that of me. So that's why that's part of that program. There's also an option if you pay in full for the 9 months for Source Code. You'll also get complimentary access to my program, Break the Mold. I'm going to be shutting that down shortly. So if you are interested and want access to Break the Mold as well, that I've been promoting like all this last week, it's a really, really, really amazing program. I'm breaking the mold that made you. I'm becoming the highest vibrational version of yourself, tapping into your and unlocking your absolute highest potential in real life. Then you'll get access to that for free when you pay in full for those 9 months. So all of that info is in the description link below. I was ready to power through the evening. I have had so much energy, and now I'm actually getting tired. So I'm going to take a sip of my green juice, and then I am going to channel for you guys. And when I see you guys, this is really for feminine awakening. So I'm going to be diving into the Shakti channel and what Shakti is. So I'm going to tune in with my spirit guardians. Again, I've got animal guides here, which is a lot of what the feminine Shakti power is. It's primal force, it's primal source, it's primal life source. It's the creativity that every woman carries. Men carry it, but in a different way. So every human has Shakti power. Women carry it like 1,000 times more. The Shakti power in men is the feminine rising of their own energy within their own body. But obviously they are primarily masculine in general, which is the Shiva power, the counterpart. Anyway, so Shakti, it's funny that they're breaking it down right now, like shock and awe. Like it's like shock. Like I've never thought about it that way. That's my channel. They're like, it's shock. Like there's a shock value behind divine feminine power. I'm going to talk about a couple, like some fallacies or mistakes here. So when people think about the divine feminine, they're like the divine feminine, and I see it online all the time, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Okay, I love it, but it's a different sort of power for feminine women. So divine feminine power is like sweet and beautiful and lovely, and I love being this version of myself too. Shakti power is like listen. But it's not like rough per se. It's highly primal. So however that gets interpreted for each woman, it's a creative power. It is a storehouse of potential energy. So when we work with energy, there's kinetic energy and there's potential energy. Potential energy is like rip roaring, like it's like ready for fucking something. No puns. But it's like it's a storehouse of power that women have that's generally stored in the root and sacral chakra. Yes, that can be sexual energy. Yes, it is sexual energy, but not necessarily expressed sexually. So it's a creative energy. A lot of women misinterpret this for sexual passion or sex drive. Women that have access to their Shakti power will know exactly what this is. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's sex drive. Like, yes and no. Can it be? Yes. But I'm going to try to just like start to read in between the lines. For me, when I'm holding this power, what it is it's actually... And I'm describing what it could be confused as, or what it's frequently categorized as, for women to understand what it is within themselves. Shakti power is like sleeping while you're awake. Or sorry. No, it's the opposite. It's like lying awake while you're sleeping. It's like the dormant potential, the volcano that never turns off. It's always roaring. Like it's got this dull constant. It's not dull, but I just mean like it's controlled. It does require self-control. Like y'all will know women that have Shakti power that's insane. Like they are insane. And those that don't have access to any of it are really meek. So the ones in between, I'm a good example of like a solid Shakti power. It's holding constant. I don't want to say it's dormant creative energy because it's potential. It is in the process of being activated. It's like lighting the spark. Oh, and I meant to do a clearing before my thing. So it's like, it's the spark. That's like the initial. So before there's the actual full-on flame of the Shakti power, it's the potential of like holding on to matches. You're like, I'm ready. Oh, that one just went out. I'm ready. So I'm describing this for women. Like that's the stable state of Shakti power, is like ready, 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 ready. Ready for what? Whatever the fuck you want. It's a creative energy. So I get complimented a lot and I'm well aware of my creative ability. Like I have a constant storehouse of creative power. I'm really, really creative all the time, as many women are. You can receive a gentle little clearing here. I got my copal liquid, got a little Reiki. It's the creative power. Again, it does exist in men too, but I'm going to focus on women because that's what my program about Shakti power is about. It's what my divine feminine awakening is in source code is the feminine activation of the planet, the power of the planet passed through Storm to me to create the divine feminine ascension program, divine feminine enlightenment, which is very different than masculine enlightenment. We can follow a similar path, but I'm going to just map it out real quick, and then I'm going to dive back into Shakti power. What's masculine ascension like? Restriction, retention, extreme self-control, like extreme self-control. Feminine ascension, feminine enlightenment is pleasure-based. It is choice-based. It is explorative. It is playful. It is not restrictive. And where women get into trouble with their own ascension, it's when they treat themselves like men. And I'll give you a quick example. I think I returned this book to the library already. I had a book about Buddha that I was reading, about Buddha and about his wife and about, I think it was his wife that tried, like after he like left her, she wanted to study underneath him like later in her life. And the monastery under Buddha was turning away women, like would not allow women to ascend because women, this is the Shakti power, okay? Because women were seen as a threat. The Shakti power was seen as something that is A, uncontrollable. I'm going to lay out a bunch of shit from the book that I was reading about Buddha. It's the same stuff in Christianity too. Honestly, it's the same across the board. Shakti, oh shit. As I say it, I like, hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta come back. No. I just like spilled green juice all over my... That was a little too much Shakti power. It's also something women need to be mindful of because men are threatened by Shakti power. Actually, as are other women. Women that aren't as secure with themselves. Oh my gosh, I made such a mess. Are also threatened by Shakti power and will try to take out other women that embrace Shakti power because it's the ability to change and transform on demand. I'm gonna have to sit with this. This is definitely a sign in itself. Okay, hold on. That's what I get for talking about Shakti power online. So sue me. If anyone else is spilling green juice all over there, luckily I have a green towel. Jesus. Okay. That was clearly a check-in. I gotta take one moment here, check in with my power totem animals and ask them what they want to do, because I think they knocked that over for me. And my cards. Okay. It requires incredible skill to maneuver with your primal power. Incredible skill, incredible self-discipline. I'm going to go back towards women in general. For women, the Shakti power, the way that you control it, it's not about other people controlling it, and it's not about you manipulating your expression. When I say control, I mean like fires need to be tamed. Fires need to be controlled so that they don't get out of hand. They need to be like literally contained. When you contain a fire, like in a fire pit, It can burn really strong. You can enjoy that campfire like through the evening. But if that fire escapes to part of a forest, now you have a forest fire, now you burn down half of Los Angeles, right? Or whatever. It's like, you know, containment for fire is very important. For women, I'm seeing why this is not spoken about very often. I'm not like this with my fire power because my spirit guides are on top of me like white on rice. They won't let me express in ways that are harmful. They'd be so on top of me. And because of my shamanic abilities, like, I am constantly receiving reflections from the universe, like constantly. Like, I'll have a thought and then my guides will show me something immediately that I can't escape from. So like, I have constant accountability with spirit, but if I didn't, I could definitely see this getting out of hand. And that's something that women need to look out for and work with, is like, you know what? I mean, we'll make this easy because like my guides keep bringing me back to like, women assume it's sex drive and then overuse it or don't control their sex drive. Especially when they're older, like after 30s, right? Is like when women's sex drive turns on. It's like, it's not really sexual. I guess it can be, but it's actually just fire. It's primal life force. It's primal source. And the thing about women is women create. Women have womb spaces. The womb space holds the ability for the co-creation between the masculine and feminine archetypal components in order to literally create manifestations through your hands, through your body. I mean, literally it's babies, right? But otherwise, it's what are you creating? What's your life purpose? What do you place your hands on? Like, what are you creating into this life? The way that the energy is harnessed is through creation energy. And it's not just a little bit. Like, you know, I feel like some people do like a little bit of art and it's like, oh, is that my Shakti power? And it's like, well, Shakti's not exactly like Shakti's not generally like a single match. Like, this will go out at some point. I mean, look, it just went out. Right? Shakti power is the feminine force of the planet. And I love that I'm able to talk about this because it is what, you know what, let me check with my guides. I was like, you're seeing me like go up and down with my mood. Like I'm trying to shoot my power out because I get really excited and my guides are literally tempering it for me. And that's why I don't overuse it, is because I'm with my spirit guides all the time. They won't allow me to explosively use my Shakti power because if it's too much, it's just too much fire. Like they're literally taming my energy. I can feel it. They're pulling all of my fire back down into my solar plexus. But because I'm talking about it, I want to explode it. And they're like, absolutely not. Like they're like pulling it right back down. Okay. Can I go into this? What do you guys want? How a woman uses her feminine Shakti power dictates the sort of woman she is. Women get a bad rap with Shakti, and I'm going to tell you why. My guides put me through a lot of practices to understand this with other women, with myself, and with men. Because men channel their own version of their own inner woman as well. And the game... It's so funny. I haven't shared this yet. It's just like so funny that it's described this way because like I went through Judgment Day a few months ago. Truly. My soul was judged. My heart was weighed. And I was tested, man. And I'm going to be very joking about what this is, but it's like the way that I've learned this lesson was so harrowing. But the game is called Which Witch is Which. And it's a game that the planet plays. It's a game that Storm plays. It's a game that the Most High plays. And it is with feminine force. Again, not isolated to women. Men, witches as well, fall under this. Magicians fall under this. So I'm going to explain the game that Spirit explains to me, and they identify with me in front of people. It's called Which is Which? Which is which? Again, regardless if you're a man or a woman, do you use your Shakti power and magic for force? Do you force people to do things? Do you manipulate people to do things? Do you manipulate emotions? Do you manipulate with mind games or mind tricks? Do you control people? That's the witch. Which is which? That's the witch, like the little pointy fucking black hat, like witch. Or do you use your Shakti power to create, to be the change? In this case, we'll say Glenda. They're both like witches, and I don't love that my guides use this language, but they do because they love to use the human language and a play on words. I forget what the meaning of that. They love to play on words with me because they know that I'm going to take it and teach it, and it's so much more fun than talking about like narcissistic magic versus pure source magic. It's so much more fun saying which witch is which. Like, which witch is which? Is that a Glenda witch? Or is that oh my gosh, I haven't read Wicked yet, but I have it. Is it a good witch or a bad witch? And here's the truth. Most people don't fucking know. Spirit doesn't even know half the time. Because when you can witch, when you can magic, again, regardless of gender, you can mask. So there are a lot of narcissistic, psychopathic witches. People that practice magic or active witchcraft, but magic, mental magic, is also witchcraft, depending on how it's used. In order to force circumstances or force people to do things that they wouldn't choose naturally through natural evolution. This is generally sweeping referred to as black magic. Regardless of gender, again, can be practiced. A witch is also like a man as much as a woman. I don't self-categorize as a witch. I don't like it. My guides talk about the which is which because it's got a fun play on words. I just see myself as a magician or like a shaman. But I guess a shaman, it could be a green witch. But it's like, let me think about how I want to explain this. Which is which? There are a lot of good practitioners also that get thrown in that black magic, black cat territory. I've been one of those in the past. My guides inspected everything throughout my entire history. And I was like, I'm not fucking around. And they were like, we know, but we got to test it to the law. And there's just a big mix because all of the witches, all the magicians, all the psychic people get grouped into one fucking amalgamation. And nobody knows what anyone's doing. Because the second you start practicing magic, even Spirit's like, wait, which is which? Like, what are the mirrors again? Because they have to really inspect the magic spiritually in order to know which way it's going, because it has such a currency that goes all the way up to the Most High. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but let me just think real quick. Here, Spirit, what would you like to bring through on that message particularly? It has to do with what you do when you know no one's looking. whether it's for you, whoever I'm speaking to, or whether it's people you know that that are practicing magicians, that are practicing witches, that are psychics, that are, you know what, throw shamans in the category too. It's like anyone that can be categorized as someone that understands psychic activity gets placed into this category. It's not just like a pointy hat witch. Like that's not, it really, when spirit says witch is witch to me, they're categorizing all of the humans that are practicing magic in one way or another. And those of you that are practicing manifestation are practicing magic as well. How you access that manifestation depends on which is which category you're put in, and then you are judged. The difference between which is which, if you're wondering for yourself or vetting people around you. Because honestly, Spirit's not the only one like playing this test. Like we need to know too. Like which is which. Like who's good, who's bad. Like we need to know. There's too much masking going on. Is to know if they use source or if they use force. Okay? That tends to be the understanding, is that people that practice magic, again, in any way, and this is Shakti power regardless of your gender, if they use force, manipulation, behind the scenes manipulation, I'm not going to get into specific. I'm sorry for anyone that hates me for saying shit like this, but like voodoo dolls, okay? I don't know that much about Santeria, but I've had stuff in my past in my lineage that has issues with that. I have issues with that. You know, like there are different levels of magic, and I'm sorry for those that hate that I said voodoo, but like I've had practices of really negative voodoo shit done on me that I can't like I don't feel good about it. I'm sorry. With anything, there's going to be dark or light in any practice, but generally speaking, and for those of you that to know, I don't practice any of it. I don't practice any witchcraft. My work is spiritual magic, source magic. But that's the point. Source or force. That's the which is which game. Like, where do you fall in your own territory? Where do you fall with spirit? Who's holding you accountable? If somebody was watching what you do behind the scenes, behind closed doors, would you shrink about it? Would you hide? Would you be like, oh my God, I can't believe they know that about me? Or would you be like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. Like, are you okay being out in the open? Or are you doing hairy shit behind closed doors? That is the which is which game. Anyway, maybe I'll dive into that more in the future, but I'm glossing over it right now. I swear to God, if you guys knew like the crazy shit the spirit puts me through, for like 2 months, all I heard when I woke up and went to bed was which is which, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, how many people are you going to put in front of me to learn this? And I was like, I'm really exhausted from mental manipulation. It just feels like you're being bullied mentally. Oh my God. Okay. Spirit, bring me back, please. Okay. Take what you love, leave the rest. I gotta say what needs to be said. My channel's speaking to me in a very specific way. All right, that's my trigger warning. Leave witchcraft in the dust. Leave it in the fucking dust. It's too mixed. It's too mixed. There's too much black magic involved in any level of witchcraft. Can there be good witchcraft? In theory, green witches, potentially, but whenever anyone is dealing with witchcraft, again, I'm so sorry for those of you that are be triggered by this, and I know there's going to be plenty. I just have to deliver the message in the way Spirit's asking me to. So if you hate me, whatever, go do your stuff behind closed doors, deal with your own consequences. I'm not here to preach, I'm just here to share the message, all right? Oh, God knows that one's going to come slam me in the future, and I'll be like, which witch is which? Good witch, bad witch. Not witch. Like, magician. Okay, My joking aside, I'm getting uncomfortable with what Spirit's asking me to say. That's why I'm like, nah, doing my thing. Don't play with witchcraft. Don't play with it. It's fucked up. You guys have no idea actually how many times I hear from my spirit guides like, oh, they're acting that way because someone prayed on them. No, somebody did a love spell at home. Oh, that's a binding spell. I hear this shit all the time from spirit, and I didn't know what it was because I've never practiced witchcraft, and I had to start looking stuff up, and I was like, that is disgusting. I was like, what do you mean it's a binding spell? I was like, can people mind their own fucking business? This isn't just women, by the way, and I want to make it very, very, very clear. This is men and women. Witchcraft is on both sides. Don't think you're getting out of it if you're a dude. Like, I'm well aware of the men that are running around as dark witches. We call them warlocks, but they're not warlocks. They're witches. My channel's coming through the way it is. Sorry, this is just how it is. I would caution anyone to play with witchcraft. I'm not telling you to not work with elementals. I'm not telling you to not work with herbs. I'm not telling you to not fucking sprinkle fairy dust all over your apartment if you want to. What I'm saying is don't fuck with witchcraft, because the energetics at the collective level that get involved in any level of witchcraft, and I know I'm going to receive hate for this, and I got to do what I got to do. Spirit wants me to pass the message, is that the collective level of witchcraft will take any initiate. And the best initiates are the ones that are like, oh my God, I can't screw it up. Like, I'm going to go play. Like, I had friends when I was in high school that literally would do love spells. I never did any of that stuff. I didn't believe in it when I was younger. But like, they would do love spells. It's not a joke, you guys. And they're telling me I need to speak to a direct audience right now. It's not a joke. If you're fucking around with magic, magic's a separate territory. Witchcraft. If you're fucking around with witchcraft and you are projecting that magic onto someone else to try to make them do something that is outside of their control, that is not an action they would normally take, you are fucking with their karma and taking it on yourself. You become glue for all the bad things. I don't know even how to describe this. It's such terrible karma. And I read it off of people sometimes, like in public. I'm like, oh, wow, they did a bunch of witchcraft. They have no idea this shit's coming. They just thought they were like being cute and like dancing, and then did some cocaine, and then went to the club, and then like saw this guy and was like, I'm gonna fucking witch him. I actually... it sounds ridiculous, but it's actually like really fucked up. And men do the same thing in a different way. It's essentially like adopting a boatload of karma, because you're actually harming someone. And a lot of the people that do this work think that they're not harming others. They think they're just like playing with formless substance. They don't realize that it can be tracked. I can see black magic on people. My guides actually just tell me. They're like, oh, that spell was done with that person. That person's acting like a fucking maniac because they had a bunch of black magic done over their crown. And I just pray. I'm just like, whatever needs to be cleared, clear it. If it can be helped, but I have no responsibility other than what I'm responsible for, which is me. But it's like, my crown is lighting the fuck up. I can feel it. I don't think anyone talks about this stuff like this, because most women that are in manifestation or that love crystals also love witchcraft. And I know I am dividing an audience right now, and I can't get behind the witchcraft. And I will be the first of many, maybe one of the first to actually come out and talk about it, because I understand the which is which game. And once you understand it, you would never fucking play with it. Never. I had women, like, I've known women that have coached me. I have known women that have taken me through, men too, but they generally fall in a different category. Whatever. I'm going to talk to the women specifically. that did practice witchcraft, that I didn't understand that witchcraft. And I went through my life and through the years being like, oh, that was good advice they gave me. Oh, they did that. And then all of a sudden, I'd get attacked in a fucking dream. And it would be them. And I'd be like, what is all this? And I would check in with spirit and they'd be like, they did a binding spell on you. And I'm like, why? Why? Do you know why? Because when you fuck with witchcraft in any way, there are collective demonic attachments and forces and entities that feed off of that energy. And even if you're good about it, the likelihood of you picking up a spiritual disease is so high. It's like if you're fucking around with witchcraft, and again, I'm sorry, it's not going to be popular. It's like having sex without a condom. Like, Russian roulette much? Did you get the STD test? It's the same thing spiritually. I hear when people are carrying spiritual diseases, and I'm told not to interact with them. Those spiritual diseases are black magic on their energy. Either black magic was done on the person, or they performed some level of black magic. That was either a form of witchcraft, a form of binding, a form of writing and spell work and doing some sort of a ritual. Those can be moon rituals as well. I hear that from people, from my spirit guides. They're like, oh, they just did a moon ritual. And that tells me the sort of magic that's being used, just so that I'm like aware. I hear a lot of this stuff. It doesn't affect me because my levels of spiritual protection are fucking insane. My guides don't fuck around. My ancestors do not fuck around. I'm sweet. I could be sweet because my ancestors will decimate. Like, that is the truth. And I don't know why people practice so much magic. It's so much black magic and so much witchcraft, because it's like, you could just do the fucking spiritual work. You could just, like, and your ancestors do whatever. They do whatever. It's like, they do it. I don't do shit. My ancestors do whatever they gotta do. Like many power players, our ancestors do whatever they gotta do. We have no idea what they're doing half the time. None. I don't know. I know my ancestors don't play. Because there's so much witchcraft, there's so much magic. When people do witchcraft over another person, they're trying to remove their free will from making their own decisions. Which is also known as a destiny swap. It's where they try to steal the other person's destiny. That destiny could be a soulmate relationship, a partnership. That destiny could be a family. That destiny could be a child. It could be a specific soul of a child coming into a woman's body or between a couple. That destiny could be career success. That destiny could be becoming a celebrity. That destiny could be being in a community and high forms of leadership. That destiny could be going to a specific location. That destiny could be a spiritual awakening. There are like I don't know, the amount of witchcraft that I hear. This is dark, negative Shakti power. Non-constructive, harmful Shakti power. Shadow Shakti power. And I don't want to give Shakti power a bad name. This is the shadow. Everything's got a shadow and a light. This is the shadow. And my guides were asking me to take us there, probably for educational value for most of you, and also to start like setting some of this stuff apart, because whenever women do manifestation work or are spiritual or coaches, like, we all get thrown into this witch category, and I'm just like, don't fuck around with me. Like, it's not my game. Never has been, never will be. I understand the consequences. I won't touch it. I am not seduced by psychopathic power. I got God. Who the fuck needs binding spells? Who needs love spells? I have God. Like, you don't want to have to put spells on shit. Now I'm talking to women direct. Clearly there's something in the stream. It's like, you don't have to do this stuff. You were promised a soulmate. Unless you're a terrible person. And I mean, only you would know that. Like, we all have soulmates. we all have more than one as well. It's like, which soulmate are you qualifying for in the moment? And it's like, do I think also, let me also say this, do I think there's a one? Yes, I do. And I think that can shift depending on timelines, depending on what we go through. And it's like, there's no need to control someone else or try to make someone love you. Like, please let me vomit on screen right now. Like, love your fucking self. Like, stop it. I hope I'm not talking to anyone in the stream, but there have been 400 or 500 people like in and out of here, and I'm sure I am talking to someone on the stream. I'm like, I don't think we need to say the spirit. And Spirit's like, Stormie, just say what needs to be said. There are enough people coming through this stream where this makes sense. Dylan, I saw the Etna. That's like, oh my gosh. When I went to Italy, I biked around Mount Etna. It's like, and it, what do you call it? Erupted while I was there. I got like a Padre Pio, like lava statue. Okay. I'm glad you like my necklace. Thank you. You guys are so funny. Yeah, I got real lashes. I would have fake lashes, but I don't have time to sit for 2 hours. Oh my God, please. I have ADHD. I'm like, I will not sit for 2 hours and let someone glue lashes onto my lashes. Blah. But those that have them are fucking beautiful. Like, it looks amazing, but I'm not. I can't. No. Some of the stuff I like won't respond to. I'm like, Spirit speaks through and to me the way that it does. Any limitation is yours. It has nothing to do with me. Yes. Love yourself. Listen, magic, it's all a very, I don't know how to describe this. I'm talking about the shadow components of primal power. There are no regulations for magic. You know what I mean? For witchcraft, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get real geeky right now, but like, those of you that have seen or read Harry Potter, that shit runs in my veins. I read the books as I was growing up. With each year, I was the same age. And like, so there are muggles, there are normal human folk, and then there are wizards. Okay? When you approach magic and witchcraft from primal Shakti power, also, hold on, I want to touch on, Shiva's got a fuck ton of magic and witchcraft too, but it's a totally different, it's much more mental. Anyway, I just want to comment on it. From the Muggle side of the landscape, there is no like regulation on magic. They're just like, what? I don't know. It's all scary. When we're on the wizardry side of things, there is regulation. There is. Spirit has fucking tests they run people through. Sometimes that stuff doesn't catch up for a minute, but it does. Just wait, and it's coming. You never have to throw karma at people. Trust me, it comes. We just sit back and watch the show and get a little popcorn. On the wizardry side of things, on the spiritual power, arcane power, magic power side of things. And again, I'll say not all witchcraft is bad, but Spirit is saying just like shut the door to it because there are too many attachments that can jump on any of it. It's like not clean enough. I also want to split witchcraft and elemental power because that's how I can tackle this. So what would be categorized as green witches or witches that work with the planet? We can just get rid of the witch territory and move it to the elementals. When you start working with the elementals, that starts to shift into a combination of elemental and divine power, which can override all of the attachments that jump on the witchcraft frequencies, if that makes sense. It just has to do with spiritual diseases. It's like which are tagged. And to get into elemental power, like spiritual diseases, are there any running through elemental power? Let me ask. I wouldn't think so, because the elements are like, I'll eat it. Like they're so fucking powerful. What do we think? Far less is what I'm hearing. It's like minuscule. When you work with the elements, like the likelihood of you getting a spiritual disease is fucking minuscule, because the elements are being kept up within their own magic to the highest standards of the Most High. Because magic is actually regulated. Humans think they can get away with just about fucking anything. They have no idea. They're walking around in public. I can see it on people. I'm like, oh, like that one's doing weird shit. They think they could just like hide behind closed doors and do things, and they go out in public and like nobody notices. Like a lot of us do. And as we move forward, and I don't know what to call this new age, I guess Aquarian age, as we move forward in the Aquarian age, like being psychic is pretty fucking natural. Most people are psychic. All people are psychic to one degree or another. How aware they are is a whole nother thing. But actually, like, becoming good at spiritual work and spiritual ascension is becoming popular. There are a lot more of us. We're growing in numbers. So all these people that are doing crazy shit behind closed doors, crazy ritualistic work, Illuminati work. Like there are people that I've met that like are calling in the Illuminati, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, throw that shit out on its ass. Like, and the Illuminati will contact anyone, by the way. And I'm immediately flagging them out of the stream, because even them speaking through me, I'm like, what? Let me just check in with my guides. I don't have any of that shit. I had to clean my blood so hard because there were dormant contracts, because to be human is to be looped into that stuff. It's false light matrix. Can I say that? Okay. You're just watching me. So I'm calming my energy down, because my guides were just like, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. I'm like, oh, okay. When you're working with magic, when you're working with Shakti power, it's really easy to take it out of hand. I don't, because my guides really are pressed up on me. Like, they're on me, they're with me, they will let me express it to a certain amount, and then they'll reel it right back in to make sure myself and others aren't hurt in the process. So when you're working with your own Shakti power, regardless of your gender, it's about cultivating the awareness to understand how you personally wield power, what you do, and this will be different for each person, what you do when you have a lot of power, when you have a power surge, what happens? When I have power surges, I'm taming it. When you are low on power, what happens? What do you do to get more power? I know a lot of people that when they're low on power will manipulate and hook subconsciously. They're not generally all doing it consciously. Go into codependency tactics, abuse patterns to find ways to get power, because they don't know how to just step into their power. It's a skill set that most people need to understand. But the thing about power, I am an expert in power work spiritually. It's like understanding every dynamic of what it is to have too little power. Where is it? Where did it go? What happened? Why don't I have it? Where did I send it? Who took it? This is all creative force, creative source, creative life source, life force, life source. And then when we have a lot of power, when we have too much power, which is entirely possible, and my guides have really cultivated me through a lot of very active training to make sure that I can A, handle my power, and B, how much power I can handle, and in what quantities, when. And I'm very, very balanced about my power because I grew up in many scenarios where people outpowered me in very drastic ways. So I had the experience of innately knowing what it is to be outpowered continually and what that feels like. So when I step into my own power, I don't hurt people with it because I have the remembrance, like I have the impression and the understanding of remembering what it feels like to not have power. So I don't use that power over others. What I do is I maintain my power and I allow other people to also have their power. As long as they're not hurting me. And if they even have an intention to hurt me, I don't even do shit. I just leave. Like I just leave. I'm like, whatever, you can have that mess. I'm not even gonna step into that. Like, because I don't want the fucking karma that comes with that shit. I just leave. Like, and that's the beauty about having power when we work with power dynamics. It's like you never have to get involved in someone else's power karma. You can just decide to leave if it's too much. You don't have to engage. This is how karma is exchanged. Karma is exchanged through power and through power dynamics. Power dynamics are parties coming together either physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, or in the dark, behind the scenes, all the shit that happens in the back of the shadow chakras, which is, again, like I said, witchcraft. And I could talk about witchcraft so much because I've had so much of it done on me that I'm very, very familiar. I hate to say that, but I also don't think I'm that abnormal. I gotta be honest. I think there's a lot of people that are just like pulling fucking tricks behind the scenes when they don't like people or when people don't do what they want. Like, they're like hanging out over cauldrons, new moons, full moons, lighting fires, putting people's names in them. Like, I'm not telling you not to do your basic ritual work, whatever you need, but like you really need discernment. If spirit's not running the show, if you've got any level of karmic attachment, karmic entity that's not divine, you're screwed. I'm gonna say it gently. Again, I know I'm not gonna be popular. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, but I just gotta say what's gotta. I gotta say what's gotta be said. The truth is that my audience, my real true audience of, and I'm gonna specifically go towards women because women really are my audience, that are with me would never. If they ever did, they did it by mistake, and they would absolutely like resolve it within themselves had they not known. Because the women that I work with, the women that are going to be attracted and resonate with me and my work, are the women that are looking to heal themselves, occupy their power from an empowered state, and use their magic to create more good in this world. Mainly, use their magic, their source power, and their Shakti to claim their destiny, to find their own Shakti is that potential. I was talking about this earlier in the stream. To find and understand your own potential in your creative power as a soul in a human body, and to use and work with the energy of source to become a channel of creativity that is able to activate that potential power and create it into your walking life where you become. You know what they're saying to me? Like, they're saying like you become the celebrities that you look up to. Like, you know how people have idols? There are people they look up to. Instead of looking up to people, you become the version of yourself that you previously would have looked up to. You become her. And that's how we use our magic source ability. It's everything to do with us. It's self-control. It's self-alignment. It's self-creativity. It's self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, self-healing. It's all self-focused. Anything that is focused external becomes a form of witchcraft. Get it out of here. Okay? The safest thing you can do for yourself with Shakti power is to become who you are, to become the future version of yourself that has the lifestyle that you desire to live, to focus on the daily habits, patterns, rituals, and practices. It's 11:11 Pacific time, whoever needs that number as a synchronicity. To activate the highest timeline, which is to activate your destiny agreement, your destiny contracts, your destiny moves, your destiny, not fate, not karma, destiny. The shit that was promised to you before you came into body. Your highest activation. It requires temperance. It requires all of that sexual energy, that primal force is what is necessary to learn how to cultivate, how to refine, how to direct, how to work without abuse, without being abused, how to be empowered, how to know when you're disempowered, and to find yourself back into your creative flow. I cover this in the source code. It's very simple in a lot of the ways that I cover it. How we get into the flow, I make it very, very easy. It's very easy. It's elemental magic. It's not going to be easy for you guys. You would have to come through me. Like, it's easy for me because I've been practicing. It's easy for me because I've been channeling. It's easy for me because I stay away from all the nasty ass shit because I don't pick up spiritual STDs. You guys, I won't even kiss people on dates. Like, that's like, I'm just like, nope. Like, I don't want whatever the fuck you're carrying. Spiritually, no. No. There are so many ways we can pick up those little spiritual viruses. It's like, as long as you are self-focused, self-healed constantly, whole, and living a life that you prefer, living a life that makes you happy and fulfilled, not without its challenges, but that you're constantly like striving and moving forward and occupying your highest states of awareness, and you're happy with who you're becoming in the process. That is protection from all of the lower frequencies, from all of the other shit. People could have weird attachment. Like, it happens all the time, you guys. People have these demonic attachments on them. And my guides tell me, they're like, oh, that was that attachment. That was that attachment. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Because it can't stick to me. Like, they just tell me so that I see what quality of people I have around me. And then I just make decisions. I'm like, oh, you know, even if someone's really, there are so many people that are actually sweet, but they're weak. They're weak-willed, they're weak-minded. And because I have such spiritual strength, when they come in front of me, a demonic attachment will like hop from a tree into that human. And I'm like, oh, you were sweet, but you're weak. And I can't interact with you now because you're carrying an attachment. Like, I don't want it. That shit can't come into my home. Wipe your feet off before you come in here. Blues, my current advice, I'm just reading your comment. Your advice on the masculine form of the energy I'm talking about. Love your perspective. Thank you. I have a lot to say on it that I probably won't get into on the stream, but what I will say to alleviate that immediately is follow the same protocol. It has to do with empowerment. So, and for men specifically, self-control sexually is so fucking important. So much self-control, so much discipline, much more than women, much more than women. Men give away their sexual energy like it's nothing. Like, it needs to be cultivated. It needs to be held. It needs to be retained more than women, because women have access to the womb space, which is creating both energies. Men don't. You have one. You have a single pole. Literally, figuratively. You have a single energy. You have a masculine energy. You have a feminine energy, energetics within you that can stir within inside of you. But as far as physically goes, you have one energy. Women have both. Our womb spaces create both little boys and little girls. So we have access to both sorts of energy in general. But for the masculine form of energy, self-control, discipline, ambition towards goals. Having goals and striving for them absolutely every day. And then understanding when you are empowered and when you are disempowered. And working with those energies. And for men specifically, not looking to, gosh, it's going to be for another stream. And I'll probably cover, if for anyone that wants to sign up for my, I just created the YouTube membership. I'll talk more about some masculine stuff over there as well, because source code is more specific for women. That's going to be on Quantum Mastery if you guys want to sign up. Men have such a different ascension track than women. But the things that overlap, that's where I could talk to you. The things that overlap are understanding what empowers you and understanding what disempowers you, and maintaining your empowerment. Not looking to control or manipulate others. And cultivating strength for men specifically. Women as well, but this one for sure is men. Cultivating strength. There are too many weak men on this planet. Men need to find ways to cultivate strength in every way, mentally, emotionally, and that's not to dismiss your emotions either. I don't have the time to get into this right now, but just think about cultivating strength. Physical strength is a good way to start cultivating strength. Understanding vulnerability, not touching any level of toxic masculinity for strength, but strength is one of the most important aspects of the masculine to develop, to become, to step into their own divinity, because culturally, men are cultivated to be weak. I don't just mean like physically. Like the lack of emotional expression is a weakness. The lack of mental control is a weakness. The lack of sexual not lack of sexual appetite, but the lack of sexual control is a weakness. Like it's like men are cultivated to be weak so that they can be controlled by like a larger overarching leader. Women actually are stronger than men. Most of the time. Most of the time. Because women have to be stronger than men. Because they're carrying children, and then they're either left behind, they don't have the resources, they're not provided for. And you know what women do? We hear this across the board. I talk to women all the fucking time, and we hear this across the board. We just go, well, nobody was here to fucking help, so I just figured it the fuck out. Meanwhile, men have a lot more resources available to them, so they often don't cultivate strength. Don't take this the wrong way, by the way, and only take what you love, leave the rest, for everyone watching, etc. It's just like, I'm talking about general, sweeping statements. There are so many needs in this market. There are so many things. I need to speak to so many things, but I have to speak to women specifically because we need more help. Like, honestly, like, and also there are men that speak to masculine power. I can't remember their Instagram handles. I follow a bunch of them and I'm pretty cutthroat about it. Like, I don't like it. Like, if there's anyone that like doesn't have their stuff together, I'm like, no, I'm not following you. There are a number of men I follow on Instagram that speak to masculine power that I think are very healthy, but I just remember, they just come in my feeds. I don't remember their handles. want to activate my destiny. Get it, Teresa. Thank you, William. Thank you, Cindy. All right, some of you guys are enjoying this. That's good. Regardless, I'm enjoying it, and I know my core audience will as well. All right, Spirit, is there anything else you'd like to bring my attention to share? They're asking me to share about, they said, share about how much you care about women understanding their Shakti power and why I'm creating guardrails on the understanding of the energy. It's not to create shame. It's to create education and understanding, because most people can't speak about this. Even most women that are spiritual, or most women that do practice magic in a good way, many of them have no idea how to speak to the shadow and how to discern the difference, because it's not their work. For some of us, for me, it's my work. Like, I had to understand this. I had to move through this stuff in my bloodlines, my generational lineage. I had to work through a lot of dark psychic stuff that I didn't want. You know, I'm a generational curse breaker. I've completely erased all of the background karma that I was brought up in, or that was running in the bloodlines. And to learn it, it had to be reflected in front of me over and over and over and over and over again for me to understand it. And I don't love it, obviously, but a lot was performed on me. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to lose your power because someone did an actual ritual. Like, that shit's real. It doesn't hit me like that anymore, because every time it happened, I built up such a level of spiritual power. But I know what it is. It feels like you lose your power. You lose your power all of a sudden. Like, I know exactly what the feeling is, where I know where it's a black magic signature, and I'll be able to generally target where it came from, what it is, and if I don't feel it in my body immediately, my guides get on it immediately, and I'm telling you, they don't fucking play. My ancestors do not play. They'll be like, this is where it came from. This is what's happening. This is what we're doing to get on it. They'll be like, this is what you need to do for recovery. This is what you need to do to remove the spell immediately. This is how we're hitting. Like, and they like get me on it. Like, emergency fucking protocol. Like, this is how I've had to learn this stuff. So I'm sharing it with you guys, but more specifically with women, because I don't know that you're going to get it anywhere else. Like, for someone to actually walk through all of that, have it done on them, have the level of pain, I could burst out into tears right now. Like, the level of betrayal when someone performs witchcraft on you. It's just taken a lot for me to understand the differences, because too often, shit witches, women that are just terrible humans, again, not just women either, men. I actually know a lot of men that practice really shitty witchcraft, like mean. My issue, though, has been primarily with the feminine, I'm going to be honest. If you haven't been through it and had spirit walk you through it, and had spirit walk you through the protection, and had spirit walk you through the antidote, and had spirit teach you how to cultivate power, you would never know what it is. You would never know how to see it when it's in front of you. You would never know how to avoid it, and you would never truly understand your own power because you'd always be afraid of hurting someone else with it because it comes with the collective. Women have abused, there are so many, and again, both genders, but I'm going to track on the women's side because this stream is for women. Women have, there are eons of women that have severely abused witchcraft and magic. That witch wound stuff, sure, some of us in past lives were burned at stake that were pure, and there were a lot that had no witchcraft whatsoever. They were actually just normal women. And then there were a lot that were like fucking around and finding out and ruined it for all of us. I'm going to tune back in with my guides because I want to make sure I'm covering what they needed me to. This is why I care about sharing about Shakti power with you. Is because A, there's little to no education around it. B, there's little to no understanding of what it actually means to occupy it in the most high, most healthy, and most human ways. It gets thrown into the Tantra category. It gets thrown into the Kali category. It gets thrown into the Pali category. All of the destructive goddesses. And that's, can this power be used that way? Yes, but it's not. It's primal activation. It is pure source consciousness. It creates babies. Any woman that has held a baby in her womb has activated her Shakti power. It's a beautiful power. It is often misunderstood. No one knows quite how to harness it without falling into like seductive shit, like just other weird magic and stuff. Because it's a very subtle awakening. It's a subtle understanding of how the Kundalini rises through the body. I want to help people understand it. I want to help women understand it. It's more present for women than men. You know what I would say for men overall is like, don't worry about the Shakti power. Just identify, like for those of you that are heterosexual, like just find a woman that has her stuff together because she'll bring that in and can override your negative programming around it that you carry in from wounding, from karmic patterns. Whereas the masculine really should be healing their masculine energy so that their feminine, again, this is for heterosexual. I adore homosexual relationships as well, but I can't speak to it in this way. But the masculine power should be working on their masculine lineage, on their masculine healing, on understanding self-discipline, ambition, practicality, action, karma, understanding consequence. Truly. Responsibility, accountability, and doing all of that to absolute perfection in themselves so that their feminine can rest with them, without having to do all that work herself. I've done both. So I understand it from both perspectives. And I can teach both perspectives. I am always going to be focusing on women in general. Many of my programs, though, are open to both men and women. Source Code specifically is like the love of my life right now. It's feminine awakening. It's going to make me cry. It's very elemental by nature, and it's how I've healed myself. So I'm passing those codes over to women that are ready to work their own ascension process, work their own enlightenment process, and become the highest version of themselves without having to deal with this whole which is which nonsense. Like just knowing what it is to have their own power, what that activation feels like, how to maintain it, how to know when to thwart other people's power, kick them out of your life, walk out the fucking door, leave the conversations, leave people on red. Like there are a lot of things that I highly recommend women to do so that you don't take on karma. I'll leave people on red just to not take on their karma. because I can see it. And that's a lot of the practice of the self-awareness, is being able to see what's yours and what's not. And you see that through your womb space. And the womb space speaks through elemental magic, creation magic, source magic. It's elemental magic. The womb is a version of an elemental. We are human. And then when you activate your magical abilities, and I do this through my program source code. There's a link in the description below you can check out to learn more. The energy work in the program, as well as the videos I share, as well as what's coming up, which is I'm going to be teaching about the elements specifically and how I work with shamanic magic. It's all about understanding how to work with your own energy. And when you do that, it becomes safe and it feels very natural and it feels very easy. So you're not going to have to learn, I have to learn how to work with the elements. No, I make it so easy. The way source works with me is through flow states of consciousness. So I teach you the flow through example, through videos. It's very simple and very easy because I make it that way, because it's meant to be a feminine program. It's meant to be easy. It's meant to tap into your womb space, you tapping into you, the existing power within you, which God knows most spiritual programs don't cover, because most spiritual enlightenment practices have been channeled by men. They have no idea how to work with a womb space. The womb space is so fucking magical. It's so magical. It creates little humans. It creates a lot of things. It also creates men's manifestations. They can't manifest as easily. Men actually have to find power from women in order to manifest, which I'm not going to get into, but it gets an energy harvesting, which is why I don't let men anywhere near me. I'm like, you can stay over there. Not all men, just I'm reserving the place for the future husband, but that's it. The rest can way over there. And that's something women need to understand as well. Like, not all men can hold the space. In fact, only one is meant to hold the space. 2, maybe 1. You don't want to wrap up your womb space with a lot of people. Generally, it's one monogamous partner, if I'm going to be honest. And sorry to anyone that might piss off. I don't really care. Okay. Spirit, what else would you like here? And then I'd like to wrap it up, I think. Yeah, they're telling me, they're like, it's good to wrap it up. You could just wrap it up. You covered the Shakti power in the way that could be covered today. So that's what I got for you guys. If you're interested in learning more, this is some of what I go into in the source code, which is my monthly membership on feminine ascension, feminine enlightenment. It's my program working with the elements, working with the elementals, understanding human potential, understanding personal growth from a way that is so easy, so pleasant, so fairy-like, so childlike. Activating the inner child, activating beauty, being able to see and perceive beauty, gratitude, understanding nature. And then we're going to be working with divine power as well. So I'm teaching throughout the month, every month in videos, and uploading them continually, that you guys have access to all of that and the meditations. And you'll get access to the framework itself as you move forward in all of the past videos, as well as whatever I post ongoing. And you get access to me in the comments as well. I adore those of you that are in there with me. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to stay on the stream and just see like how many more people come in. I'm like, bump my numbers up, let's see it happen. but I'm also exhausted. I think it's time for me to crash and take care of myself. So thank you for joining me, friends. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear in the comments below after the stream what resonated. Like this video. And if you'd like to check out and learn more about the source code framework, my monthly program where I deliver soul food to your little spiritual soul body, to your inner child, check out the link in the description below. There's a link to enroll there. I think I already mentioned this earlier in the stream, but for those of you that are just catching on, there's a 9-month option and there's a month-to-month option. When you select the 9-month option, this is meant to be an incubation. It is meant to be a womb space incubation, and it is for women. So my guardians asked me to set it up as a 9-month program in general so that you could actually have the full period for your awakening. It's a nice, gentle ascension process. Ascension is often not easy. Enlightenment is not easy. It comes with dark nights of the soul. It comes with rude awakenings. It comes with tower moments. It's mean. It's borderline disgusting. It is traumatic. And after going through this for like 18 years, I have developed a way of moving through my ascension that is very safe for myself and others. That is soft, that is sweet, that is gentle, that is awakening in the easiest way it can be awakening. It's not a rude awakening. It's like a soft, gentle story time constantly with me. Like, it's just like story time with Stormie. And that's how I awaken you. Between that and the soul food, which is like the soul remembering, it's your soul awakening of the DNA of the things that you forgot when you came into your human body. That your soul, as it listens to me describe things and concepts and ways of being and ways of moving through the world in a feminine way, which is like an art that has been lost, that it awakens those parts of you and helps to train your spirit guides, your spiritual team, to understand the health and the boundaries around the guardrails of what it is to be a healthy feminine and a healthy human and a healthy magical person. And you actually get those downloads and those codes so you don't have to learn all that shit the hard way. You get to learn it just through watching videos. I promise, like, that's the way it works with spirit. It's really, really easy. It's really magical. Spirit designed that with me to make it easy because of everything that I've been through, so that ascension doesn't have to be so hard on women. It's a fucking nightmare. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Hindsight's 2020, 18 years later, I'm like, wow, that was hard. And that could have been a whole lot easier, but I had no one to follow who knew the way for women. So I like to be that for you guys. Alrighty, that's what I got. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I will see you soon. Subscribe, tap the bell, like the video, come join Source Code. If you are a man and you want some more videos, because Source Code is my feminine program, you can check out any of my programs, or I just opened up a monthly membership on YouTube. It is called Quantum Mastery, and we're going to be exploring the quantum. It's going to be a little bit more mentally stimulating as far as like understanding how the quantum works, how to navigate energy in a mental way, which I think will be good. My spirit guides asked me to offer that for you guys on YouTube. It's my experiment. Depending on how it goes, maybe I'll keep doing it every month. Regardless, come join us. I think if you select my channel and click join, you'll see the options there. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you soon. Lots of love. Peace, love, namaste. All right, I'm out.